All right, I'm being joined by the UC Davis Aggies, student athletes Brenton Lamar, Lawrence White, and Chima Manecki, as well as the head coach of UC Davis, Jim Less. We just ask that you silence your cell phones. There's no flash photography or video recording allowed during the press conference. If you got a question, raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around. Wait for the mic, and identify yourself by name and affiliation. Jim, if you like, you can make an opening statement, then we'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Before the game, we just talked about having a fight. This is a really good, connected team, and we as a staff just asked them to fight, to keep it going. This has been an unbelievable ride, and we're not ready to go home. And I can't tell you how proud I am of them for their resiliency. It was remarkable. So really, really proud.
Questions for our student athletes only. Yeah, here in the front, right?
Yeah. Austin Ward, ESPN.com. For any of you guys, your coach just talked about the fight, not wanting to go home. You know what's coming next, and nobody's ever knocked off a number one from your spot. What reason do you guys have to believe that maybe you could do something that hasn't happened before on Friday?
Chima, can you answer that, please?
It's going to happen eventually. That's how I look at it, and we all can play at this level, and you know, I don't fear anybody, but I respect everybody, and I feel like with the way we play defense, we can make any game a game. And if we play the way we've been playing the past few weeks, then we can definitely do that.
Here on the right, on the aisle.
Any of you gentlemen can address this. You don't see much zone in the Big West. We talked about this yesterday. What did you do? A lot of turnovers early. What did you do? How did you attack that better? How did you adjust to that in the second half? And key moments when you needed to really.
Brenton, can you answer that, please?
Well, we just wanted to be patient, on the offensive end. We knew that they were flying, their guards at us, and if we got the ball to the corners, we were able to skip the ball and, make good plays off of that. So it was just being more patient and, trying to get the balls to the corner, and yeah.
Tim, you got one on the left.
Is it Kima or Chima?
Chima.
Chima. Yeah. Chima, you seem to almost want the ball there in the last 2 or 3 minutes and stuff. At least the ball seemed to go through you a lot and stuff. What was going on there? I mean, was that the focus, or did you feel like you were sort of the hub of things there when things really got tight?
I feel like I'm confident. I'm a confident player, and I got it going early. And I liked the matchup that I had. And, my teammates were doing a great job of moving the ball, and I felt that, if we continue to do that, I would put us in a successful position to score most of the time.
Any further questions for our student athletes? Yeah, here on the left on the aisle. Or on the right, I'm sorry. Right here. Right in front of you.
Oh, go ahead. I think.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Lawrence, you key plays here throughout the game. And Brenton and Chima and Darius get a little more attention, but you came out with some key steals and made some critical free throws. Just talk a little bit about what you were thinking defensively. You come up with those plays and to make those free throws.
I mean, we all have our roles, especially on the team, and mine's just defense. Mine's to pick up the tempo on defense, use my athleticism, and continue to do that on both ends. So when I do my job, we're all top-notch players. When he does his job and he scores, top-notch players. Same thing with B. And like we said in the beginning, before this, we said our defense has got to travel, and we did that tonight in key moments.
Left side, Tim.
Yeah, Lawrence, what do you know about Kansas? I mean, this game's behind you now. What just stands out as you face this challenge?
I mean, they're the number one seed for a reason, right? So that's enough said right there.
They have good guards as well.
So do we. True that.
Like Lawrence said, they're number one seed for a reason, but, that doesn't mean anything. We're going to come out, play hard, and, play our game. And if we do that, we're definitely going to compete with them and, give them a run. We're all confident. We're not going to come to the game expecting to lose. I don't think anybody should. So, yeah, we're going to be ready.
Time for a couple more here on the right. Right here, go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. Talk about when you first went out there. It seemed like a little bit of a case of nerves first time in the tournament. Did you talk about that a little bit? It took a little while to settle down and start.
Yeah, a little bit. Throughout this whole season, we kind of been on big stages also. So it was just more so of just calming ourselves down and, feeling yourself into the game. Take it possession by possession. And if you just focus on, doing your job, everything else will, come together. So, it took a little bit of time, nerves and everything, but as everything is going to finally sink in and, everything's going to go back to normal.
Time for one more. Any more questions? All right, Brenton, Lawrence, and Chima, thank you for your time. Good luck against Kansas.
Trendsetter, Rob, album coming out. Trendsetter's coming out. Yep.
Questions for Coach Les at this time, here on the right.
Jim, I don't want to move on too quickly from a historic win for your program, but the talk is going to be about Kansas and Friday. Have you thought about, will your fight message change at all from Friday? How do you want your guys to approach something that hasn't happened before?
Well, these guys have shown competitive greatness all year. It starts in practice. They have really good habits. They work hard. They work together. They hold each other accountable, which is special. And, I'll piggyback what Brenton said. I think our guys are great about, as we prepare for a team, respecting all of our opponents, and we'll do that. But we also like our competitiveness and feel like in a one-game situation, we're going to come, we're going to play hard, we're going to compete, and let the chips fall where they may. So we're excited for this opportunity, and we'll concede nothing, but we'll be ready.
Yep, turn it right again.
Okay. Jim, discuss what was going through your head, what you're feeling those excruciating final minutes there.
Say that again.
Talk about your thoughts, your feelings as you're watching the game. You had the lead. You couldn't pull away. They were right there. It looked like it was going to go down to the wire, which, of course, it did.
Well, it was interesting because we talked at the start. I thought the guys, would have a little bit of nervous energy, and so we talked about making all the effort and energy plays without the ball. But actually, we started out, and I don't think we missed early on and got off to a really good start offensively. And I thought they took a timeout and then really came after us and became the aggressor for the rest of the half. And that was a lot of what we talked about at halftime. I didn't think we responded well. We made a run to start the game, then they made a run, and we didn't respond really well to it. But I did like how they approached coming out in the second half on both ends of the floor. We started the half with some stops. I thought we were much better. We talked on the board about how we wanted to attack the 1-3-1. And I thought we were a little bit more in tune to how we wanted to attack that defense, and it helped us get us going a little bit and gave them a little bit of confidence. But like I said, this is a resilient group, and there were quite a few times when they could have laid down, and they just refuse, and they find a way. And it's different guys making big plays. I thought JT's blocks were huge. Chima being able to finish our defense with first rebounds was huge. And, Brenton, he can get it going offensively. And just Lawrence's defensive presence. He said it, and he doesn't understand sometimes, I think early in the year, how good he is defensively and how he makes our team a better defensive basketball team. When he's active and in the passing lane and using his length and athleticism, our guys derive a lot of confidence from that, and then it spreads throughout the team, and we get stingier with our defense.
Any further questions for Coach Les? Yep, here on the right. Oh, okay, here on the left.
Coach, so far the only 16 seeds to get wins are the ones who come here to Dayton for the first four. So what does that mean to you to be a part of that group?
Well, it's special. It's special. I've said this. Our guys grew up as little hoopers dreaming about playing and having this opportunity. And so it's special to be here. And, we're just going to continue to fight to keep this story going. And this team with 5 seniors, when it does come to an end, this team is not going to be able to play together again. And that bond and that resiliency to keep that going and keep this group together is really what motivates them, I think. So to me, when that ball goes up on Friday, I'm not going to be thinking about what seeds. We're going to be playing basketball, competing at basketball, and like I said, the chips will fall where they may. But we're glad to be here, but we're not satisfied by any means.
Jim, thank you for your time. Good luck
Thank you.
against Kansas.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now being joined by the head coach of NC Central, Lavelle Moten, as well as student athletes DeJuan Graff and Kyle Benton. Lavelle, if you'd like, you can make an opening statement and we'll open the floor for questions.
First and foremost, congratulations to UC Davis. Well-coached basketball team and really good basketball players. Overall, I just thought our mentality to begin the game, it wasn't where we needed it to be contenders and competitors. You know, we had guys mentally, they just weren't there. And, you know, they got in their feelings and emotions a little bit, and they punched us in the mouth. And I think we gathered ourselves, and obviously we made the switch to the 1-3-1, and, you know, it caused some turnovers and got us back in. But overall, I thought we didn't shoot the basketball well at all. We shot 35%. That's probably the lowest we've ever shot in my tenure here, especially this season. And hats off to them. They played really good defense, but a lot of those looks was just wide open. We just didn't make them, and we weren't even close on some. You know, we have guys that's capable of knocking down shots. And I thought it messed with their mentality a little bit. At the end, I would have liked for Rashawn Madison to take the three, but he pump faked and threw it back, and we missed too many layups. And I told the guys, man, at the beginning of the season, your season is going to come down to one possession. And you got to capitalize when you get that opportunity. And I just thought we missed a couple of layups at the beginning of the second half that really swung the momentum. But hats off to them. They executed down the stretch and won the game.
Questions for student athletes only. Right here in the front left.
For DeJuan, can you kind of talk me through the last possession? You guys had 2 shots at it right at the end of the game.
We had some good looks at the rim. We just couldn't knock it down. I think I should have did a better job of driving the ball when we were down 1, and I shot a 3. Coach was telling me to drive the ball because we was in the bonus, so I think I should have just did a better job of listening to coach and driving the ball and getting something at the rim.
Here in the front left again.
Kyle, to start the game, like Coach said, there were some gimmies that was missed. Was it nerves, or was it the atmosphere in the game kind of got you guys a little bit?
No, none of that. You know, I just missed a couple chippies. But you know, it's my fault. You know, I gotta make those. Coach tells me all the time I gotta make those. Those are costly. So it wasn't nerves or anything.
Front left.
Aaron, Schoonmaker with WRAL, WRAL Sports Fan. Looked like there was a lot of inside-out game going. You guys were shooting a lot of deep balls after kicking it deep. Were they collapsing? Was that something you guys saw? You guys were trying to move out of?
Kyle, can you answer that first?
I mean, you know, Coach told us to drive, like he said. He told us to drive, and, you know, when we drive, it opens up shots for our shooters. So, you know.
We usually preach on getting to the rim and, you know, attacking the basket first before we just start jacking up threes. But once we started driving, we just really didn't hit any shots, any threes at least. And, I mean, it kind of cost us.
Here front left.
In the first and the second half, your defense kind of got you back into the game. You made a 10-0 run in the first half and a similar run in the second. But was it a situation where you kind of used so much energy to get back to the game, you didn't have anything left in the tank to kind of get over the hump towards the end?
I don't think we used too much energy. We usually playing tough defense, but we should have started off the game playing harder defense and not putting ourselves in a hole. I know we went on a little run, but we should have went on a run earlier instead of having to like fight back, and that's really what uses all our energy, trying to fight back and trying to get back in the game like that.
Any further questions? Yep, front left.
Just despite what happened today, you guys had a spectacular season, won the regular season and the conference tournament. Just kind of sum up your senior year and what everything was like this year playing for Central.
Dwan?
I just want to thank Coach Lavelle Moulton. He just gave us an opportunity this year. You know, start of the season, I just didn't come in the season with the right mindset. I had a meeting with Coach, you know, and he just talked me through it. He told me I would have a great season if I just did what I had to do in preseason. I had a great preseason, and it carried over throughout the season. And these guys, they trusted in me, and they believed in me, and Coach believed in me, and I just tried to lead this team. That's all. I can't be mad the way the season ended because it was a great season, but we also wanted to get this win.
Kyle?
First and foremost, I want to thank Coach Lavelle Moulton. You know, coming out of JUCO, I actually signed a week before school started. This is my only option, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here. So I want to thank him. Also, you know, my senior season, you know, I can't get mad at how things ended. You know, we worked hard all season, preseason prepared us for this, and you know, me and my teammates, we know we had a good season.
Any more questions? Dwan and Kyle, thank you for your time. Congratulations on your season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Moten? Yep, front left.
Coach Aaron Schoonmaker, WRL. Was the pace of the game early kind of what you expected? They had that tough defense, but they looked like they were collapsing low. Had you guys prepared for that early on?
Yeah, we knew they would double team Pat off ball screens. I think the first play Pat was loafing. He wasn't moving as fast. And I stay on the guys, and I told him, when you go to a new level, it requires a new you. You know, what you got away with 2 weeks ago, you can't get away with now. It's the top 68 teams in the country, and everyone is playing with the act of a sense of urgency and an act of desperation. And I just thought we didn't come out with the proper pace initially, which allowed them to gain some confidence. And normally the first in these games, or any game in the tournament, the first team to settle down, they said it won't nerves, they were nervous. I can look in your eyes and tell when you're nervous. The first team that settled down is the one that goes on the first run.
Yep, front left again.
Coach, midway through the first half, when you went on that 10-0 run, you had a combination of Ron and Pablo and your starters. They kind of sparked things. What was it about that group that wanted you to stick with him, and what were they doing that was so effective?
It allowed us to go into our 1-3-1 that we've had it in all year. We just only used it the last week and a half. And, Pablo, his length, and athleticism allowed him to deflect some basketballs. And we got out and manufactured some points because we was having a difficult time making open shots and making point-blank layups. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from them, but, we're just wide open. And, you've seen those same looks get knocked down all year. And unfortunately, this time we didn't knock them down. And, we knew at the end of the game we didn't have any more timeouts, so we called 2 plays, one for a man and one for a zone. And, you know, Rashawn passed up a shot that I wanted him to take, and Graf took one from the top of the key. But we live with that. That kid has carried us all year. And you've seen him make those. I would like for him to drive the basketball, but hindsight is always 20/20. So he's done. He's put his heart and soul on the line for myself, his teammates, this program, and this university. So, you know, if I'm going to go down, I'll go down with him.
Front left again.
Coach, obviously you want to avoid the 16th seed Dayton, but this is a great atmosphere anyway, and you know those last 2 games of the regular season, you can forget about those anyway. What was the atmosphere like just being into the tournament in Dayton?
It was tremendous. You know, the fans and the energy, and you could feel the tension in the air. And I think it's some neutral fans here, probably just Dayton fans who just love basketball. And I think after a while they just chose a side. And that's what March Madness is about. You know, we wanted to represent our university well. We wanted to represent our league, the MEAC, because we got some really good basketball teams and really good basketball coaches. And oftentimes we go, we're overlooked. And but we wanted to represent them. And unfortunately we came out short, but the environment was incredible.
Coach, you heard the guys kind of sum up their season. Throughout the year, they drew a lot of comparisons to the 2014 team. Sometimes you said it was kind of unfair. None of the seasons come to an end. Can you kind of sum up this group and how special they were and what they did accomplish?
In all honesty, they shocked me. I didn't expect this from this team, and they shocked me. You know, we had some misfits, some guys who needed to buy into something that was bigger than themselves, and they had never done that. So we kind of took some chances and rolled the dice out there to see if they could possibly do it. And early on, we all had a great preseason. And the one thing I love about those kids is they love each other. They genuinely love and care for each other. And when you see one, you see at least 7 or 8 of them. And I think that got us out of some critical circumstances early in the year. But, you know, they had the bullseye on their back all year, and that's not easy. Night in and night out, you're going out there, and it's almost like you're the Patriots or you're Duke or you're the Yankees. Everybody, you can't surprise anyone. And going into hostile environments, you know, it's difficult now, but we'll look back and certainly reflect and one day smile about it sooner than later. They are champions. They are regular season champions. They are tournament champions, and you know, this one hurts. Losing sucks, and it's only going to be one team out there that's going to end on a happy note. And that's the unfortunate part about this. But they made a lot of people proud, and they made me proud especially, and I think they made our late chancellor proud as well. And that's what we wanted to do, was just represent our great university.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your season.